Guys, today we are doing the GT tier list where we're going to take all of the GT characters currently in Dragon Ball Legends, stick them into this tier maker, and we are going to come out with hopefully the best possible tier list for the Dragon Ball GT tag in Dragon Ball Legends. I'm going to also be posting the blank tier list, well, if it's not blank, forgive me, but I'm going to be posting the tier list down below in the description. So I would like for you guys to create your own tier list and share with me your tier list that you made over on Twitter. Links are down below in the description for Twitter and for the tier maker that you guys are seeing currently on the screen. Today's video like goal. Let's get the video to 600 likes. If you see it below, I appreciate your support. Help us get that. It would greatly help. All right, so let's start things off with Omega Shenron's Ultra. He is going smack dab into the C tier. I think that he has a couple of things that aged well, that are okay, that you can still use today. Oh, that rhyme, that was unintentional. But, you know, for the most part, you're just not going to use him. I think actually the best thing in his kit nowadays is his Ultra ability, which, again, you're not using him for. All right, Super 17, actually a legitimately good free-to-play character. I like him a lot. Now, I reserve the right to move some of these characters around or add extra tiers, so stay tuned for the very end of the video because there may be some movement around. Let's kind of go out of order because the order is almost shuffled, but not really. A lot of it's by release. We will grab EX GT Goku. He's going to D tier as an individual solo character, by the way. We are doing this tier list, in my opinion, based on kits, and for characters that have unique equipment, we will take those into consideration. This is not a meta relevancy tier list. However, the characters that are going to be at the top are most likely the most meta relevant ones anyway because of their kits, wouldn't you know? So anyway, EX Kid Goku is going into the D tier. He sucks individually, but his Z ability is still super good. We are going to now grab the Super Saiyan 4 tag. They are going into the A tier. Super good character still, especially relative to the rest of this list. I don't think they're as good as they were a year ago. Obviously, not a hot take. I think there is competition for them, being green characters on all of their teams, really, especially now GT with Super Saiyan 4, you know, usurping them as he got his Zenkai and all that stuff. So there's competition. But I think you could still use them for mostly what they're designed to do, which is a offensive pressure unit that also has manipulation of Dragon Balls and other stuff like the AoE green. They would still be successful with that, and I expect them to be a little bit better now, as you would imagine, with Bulla and Bulla's support. So, you know, with a character like Bulla, you can basically plug any other character in the game next to Bulla, and they're just going to look much better. So, they're going to look better too, so as a result. Oob is going into the B tier as well. I hope Oob gets a Zenkai. I kind of think it would be Yellow Sin Shenron instead. They both have endurance. They're both yellow characters. I think it would probably be him instead. But Oob is an interesting one because he has a little bit of everything. You can consider him a little bit of a jack of all trades. I'm talking kind of fast today, so forgive me. I'm trying to push through this in a certain amount of time. I don't want it to be like another 30-minute video because I can sometimes do those very easily. So anyway, Oob, kind of jack of all trades, does a little bit of everything, has other stuff in his kit like paralysis and stuff. So Oob, if he gets a Zenkai, I think could actually be disgusting. Disgusting. Even with like a mild Zenkai, he could still be disgusting because he has a super good baseline. Super Saiyan 3 Goku also going into the B tier. Actually, didn't those two come out together? Anyway, super good character, and I really like his design still. The offensive focus he has. I believe he did a lot of sub-count manipulation too. Also an AoE green card, so really strong character. Individually, I think, especially relative to the rest of the list, once again, but that's as high as I would put him. Another character that if he got a Zenkai could be super good. Super Saiyan 4 Green Goku will be next on our list. I'm putting him in the C tier, although I think he could kind of be like B-, C+. I think he's better than Omega, but I don't think he's as good as the other characters. I think he has some fun stuff in his kit, like his healing, whether it's on the main or the ultimate, whichever. I think that massive chunk of healing he does is really cool, like the Red Goku also kind of does that. We'll get to him later. And the blast card that he has, that he draws, I believe, on entry, if I recall correctly, he has some good pressure stuff. I don't know if he had... I'm trying to blitz through this, so I'm working off recollection. I don't know if his green card had blast armor. Did it? I think it did. But his green card was pretty solid as a combo starter. Let's see here. Yeah, blast armor, combo starter, inflicts a debuff, cancel upgrades twice. That's pretty good. The blue card could get extra 100% extra damage. That's actually not bad. The ultimate on hit was the one that did the health up, cancels own downgrades and conditions, and restores ki. He's more or less just like blasting you to oblivion with the blast cards. That's where he gets all of his synergy from. So he would actually work really well alongside Super Saiyan 4, Vegeta's new version with the equip and stuff like that. Every time he also uses a blast or strike, he does get extra vanishing. Yeah, I think he's okay. You know, I'll actually move him into B. I think he's at least B-, but I'll move him into B because I'm a little bit more convinced looking there. However, I think there's like 3 tiers between B and A right now. Like, that's kind of the problem, is I have limited options, but I think that there should be like A-, B+, these characters in B-. I don't know. There should be like several tiers in between them because I don't think it's close between A and B. And left to right doesn't matter. It's just order that I'm ranking them. Omega Shenron. So admittedly, I haven't used him a ton. I've only read his kit on paper. I think the safe placement for him would be A+. So I will add an A+ below, and that's only because, like I said, I don't really have a lot of experience with him. So he could easily be S, but I'm trying to reserve S for the actual characters I know for a fact are S, right? So I'll put him in A+, and we'll go from there. So Baby Vegeta is going into C tier. He can honestly go into D, but I like his support, so he'll stay in C, especially because he's much better than that EX Goku. Super Baby 2 is going into A. I like he doesn't really do a ton. I used him recently though, and it was really impressive how he just stayed at max health because of all the healing he himself was doing. And then you circle the block and you see that GT has other characters that are always healing too, like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's healing his allies and stuff like that now too. And so Baby just kind of stays alive on a setup like that. Now the problem is Baby individually doesn't have enough offensive utility or defensive utility, just like in terms of like actual bulk, aside from like healing, you know, cuts or special cover changes or like that type of stuff, endurance, revive. He doesn't have any of that, and he doesn't have the offensive ability. So he is the definition of a support character, so I can't rank him any higher than this, but he's pretty solid. Ice Shenron, I should create a separate tier below D for Ice. Okay, I'll be nice. Ice is going into C tier. Sin Shenron actually is pretty bad and old, but I'm still gonna put him in C tier. C tier is gonna be my de facto, like, this character belongs here, which means that Omega Shenron's Ultra should probably be in C+, because he's better than these characters by a huge margin, actually. All right, so Yellow Pan, she is going into A+, A+, A+. I feel like it might be controversial to say this character is better than the tag. I think that would also be name recognition thing. It's like, no way Pan's better than these Super Saiyan 4s. Right? But Pan is legitimately super damn good, especially when her cards, her force card draws are giving you Dragon Balls. Pan is legitimately really strong, particularly early game, obviously, but then when you start losing allies, you can just throw Pan away if you want to do that. I think kind of where Pan is in a weird spot a little bit is just GT seems to be skewing a little, just a smidge more towards range right now. The saving grace for that is that some of GT's best characters are defense or support types, so you can kind of use them in there, but it feels like melee GT is kind of just, you know, there. So it's, well, not here is the point. So maybe in the future she ages a little bit better than this. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is going into S. Super duper strong with that equip. Obviously he was a lot better with that equip when they added it in, and then also the heavy like amount of revive characters are really good in the meta right now. Pikkon and Piccolo exclusively, or specifically the extra Dragon Balls is insane. So there's that, just that individually, setting aside the offensive inclination that he added with the Zenkai is crazy. He is super strong with that Zenkai, so he's going into S easily. Nova's also going alongside his brother there in C. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is, I don't know who I like better between Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and Goku, and I guess the cop-out would be to put them both in A+. I actually think Omega may be a little better than both though. So yeah, I think they're going into A+, both of them. But what do you think who do you think is better between those two? I guess I'll find out when you guys send me your tier lists. All right, let's grab some more random stuff. Sin Shenron, I'm putting him in B tier. I like him a lot. Okay, for now, I'll just do it. I'll just do it. Because this is already looking, so like when I do tier lists, I have a problem with, oh, I like this character at this time, but then when I circle back and it's like, oh, I didn't realize, I noticed it here, I didn't realize by putting him in B tier, that was saying I thought he was better than also Ultra Omega, which I don't know that that's the case, right? And when I put Baby here, maybe I didn't compare Baby to every other character below him. Like I rank as I go. I'm not sitting here for an hour and saying, okay, well, how does Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta look in comparison to every other character below him? You know, maybe there's a character that gets snubbed a little bit. I had that happen with my Path to Power Goku, where I had to say in the pinned comments, like, yeah, I liked his placement in my last tier list at that time, but then when I look at it again, it's like, oh, it really stands out that he should be higher relative to the rest of the characters around him. So I'm noticing it here. But I do like Sin Shenron a lot. So maybe I'll move some of this around a little bit, but left to right generally doesn't matter once again, but I like that. Honestly, maybe there needs to be a B-, because Omega I think is better still here. But I like Sin Shenron a lot as an EX. Super 17, we are going to put him into, I think he's B+, to be honest. I think he's B+, to be honest. But I'll drop him in A for now. I think he's B+. We're going to grab Goku, and he's going into B. He's just unspectacular. In fact, I'm not even sure he's better than Omega. He's going in C+. Unspectacular. Hyper Rildo is going into C, probably also C-. He's just so damn old without a Zenkai. Speaking of which, Super Saiyan Goku, C, probably also again C-. Yeah. If I wasn't trying to keep D exclusively for stuff like Hero Pan, I would drop these guys into D, but I'm trying to keep that separate a little bit. We are going to grab, we'll grab Android 17. He's going into A tier. I think he's better now than he was, when he released, due to the way Androids and GT are filling out now. You know, that I think really will help a character like him, who also I believe is a support type, utility type character. Unlike damage dealers or tanks, the support utility characters I think age really well, despite the stat spread. That's also why their stats get gimped, because they can plug into any team in any situation and provide value. And you know, they're not counted on to be the heavy hitter, right? So that's kind of where I think that they kind of are aging really well. So we're gonna grab Sparking Pan's Zenkai, and she's another B+ character. I think she's clearly better than all the other characters in B here. I think maybe the one straggler could be 17. 17's good. But I think she's probably B+. But I'm gonna place her in B for now. She is a character similar to the other Pan, where it's like you can use her and then throw her away when you're done with her. So it is what it is, man. All right, we're gonna grab the EX Omega, and he's going into A. I'm putting him in A. EX Omega is super good too. He had a nice little like period where he was super good. Maybe I drop Sin to C. I'm actually realizing that this Sin is pretty old now at this point. I think he may actually be C, but I'll leave him there for now. EX Baby Vegeta, I don't really remember what he does, but I'm gonna drop him in C. I genuinely don't remember. EX Trunks, the new one. We'll grab him and then we'll grab the old one. Hilarious, they're both green. So the new one, going in B. I like him a lot. He's just a little bit too cookie cutter, too generic, excuse me. We're gonna grab the old one and drop him into C. So like the new one is almost like V2 of the old one, not just because art and type and stuff like that, but just the kit design is literally identical. They're both like support type characters. I think they both also have like defeated buffs that they're applying. So like they're identical characters. So Trunks old is just way worse than the new one, but there was a window where that old Trunks was once upon a time super good, but we're not there anymore. I'm gonna drop EX Pan in D. She's just too damn old. Honey Pan is also going into D. The only reason the other Trunks who's from that same time period is going above is because I placed a little bit higher value on support. Super Baby 2 EX is going into C. We're gonna drop EX Maj Oob into B as well. He was legitimately kind of good for a while. Like if you look at my chart, it's funny. Well, okay, was EX Maj Oob better than Omega Shenron? This is why I say like I have a tendency to do that. I have to compare every character to every character below them. Was he better than Omega Shenron? I mean, just looking at the length of his kit, you can maybe make that argument. Just by looking at this. Draws a blue, restores health, restores ki, plus damage, plus draw speed. My goodness. Applies falling effects to self when battle starts. 80% damage, 60% cut, plus strike damage, minus 10 strike cost. Every time lands a strike or blast, plus damage, plus he looks better than him. Plus 10% special move, and when the enemy's attack is over, shortens ally subcount by 3 times. Oh yeah, he's better. The following effects occur when changing cover: reduce damage, inflicts all enemies with 2 subcounts. Yeah, inflicts enemies with a downgrade of plus arts cost. When this character enters, if there's a defeated battle member, restores health plus damage plus ki recovery plus draw speed. Shortens his own subcount by 2 by default. 1 time, can't be canceled. Green card, draws a blue next, plus blue card damage, cancels enemies buffs twice. Yeah, he's better. Ultra Omega is solid. Like he has some stuff like that in his kit too, like Oob did. That's just aged very well. Like Oob has some stuff like the canceling buff effects that's really solid. But I think he's better. But I was going to say, and this was my next point, was that Oob had a small window where I think he was the best red for this team. Like he was actually legitimately the best red for this team. Well, because it was only him and Ultra Omega anyway, and then other stragglers like GT Goku, Super Saiyan, or base form Kid Goku, right? But like there wasn't really a lot of options. Now that's not really the case anymore, but that was kind of how things looked. We'll grab EX17. He's going into C. I think that's 17. I think he was a range type, right? The Super Saiyan Goku, the red free-to-play one, he's also going into B. You could maybe make an argument that he's better than Oob. I think they're pretty lateral, though. It's just one's melee, one's range. I think they're super lateral. But one's a free character, Sparking. The other one's a summonable EX, right? So it's kind of just pick your own poison. EX Rildo also dropping into C. C just became my de facto here you go slot. I am going to drop, okay, now we're hitting the crux of it. We're gonna grab Super Saiyan 4 Goku Yellow and drop him into A. He's still probably, looking at it here, it looks like he is, by my ranking too, the second best yellow in the game for this team. So there's that. They're both melee based. It's unfortunate he couldn't at least be ranged, or Pan couldn't be ranged to have a little bit of a difference there. But they're both melee. In fact, the top 3 are based on my ranking anyway. 3 of the top 4 are melee. So let's grab Sparking Vegeta here. Sparking Vegeta has like those debuffs and stuff that aged well, but unfortunately trying to be a damage dealer relying on debuffs nowadays is not very good. So I'll put him in C+, but I see the vision. I think he could be good. And I think his burst damage could be pretty high, and those debuffs could be super useful, but he's so situational. I like the kit, though. He's just super situational. We're going to now grab Bulla. Bulla is going into A+. I think Bulla is the best purple for this team, though. I think if you have Bulla, you use Bulla. It's that simple. I think it's genuinely that simple. If you're running a ranged team and you don't have Bulla, you're running probably Android 17. If you're running a melee team, you're grabbing Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Purple is super like lateral with this color, in my opinion. With this tag, I think purple's super lateral. But aside from that, I think you're running Bulla. Bulla is the best purple in the game. I think Bulla is most likely core on this team, one of the best 3 characters. So okay, if that's the case, she's going to S. Okay, I just talked myself into moving her into S. I think that's fair. I think that's pretty fair. Okay, now we're gonna grab Kid Goku. I don't really need to spend any time on this. He's going into S, obvious, like super obvious. And we're gonna grab Pan, Hero Pan, super obvious that she's going into S, excuse me, S tier. And Super 17, S stands for super, so he's going into S. Do I like this? Let me do some revisions really quick. Bam! All right, so we did some revisions. I think that I got most of what I wanted to see here. I added a D+, I think I added C+. I added another one. I think it's B+ and D+. And Pan tier at the top. So anyway, yeah, I think I like this a lot. Left to right still doesn't matter. I didn't revise into that deep. But I think the best 4 characters are the top S4 characters there, which is hilarious. 3 of them are brand new and 1 of them is a brand new Zenkai, so there's that. And then A is pretty funny, but wouldn't you know it, it's newly buffed characters, whether that's an Equip or Zenkai with another new character. And then, excuse me, A+ was what I was talking about. And then A is older characters that I think you can still plug into your teams that could be successful for varying reasons. They're kind of niche, especially when you're looking at those blue characters. They're kind of niche, the blues and greens especially. The yellow and purple, yellow Super Saiyan 4, purple 17, they're kind of optional. 17 though, I think 17 could potentially move up to A+ in this team. Like I said though, because I think you run him as your purple on a ranged team if you don't have Bulla. But the point is, Bulla supersedes both him and Super Saiyan 4 Goku though. I think she's the best purple for this team, no matter what. That's it. So like it's kind of situational. So if I'm saying that, then I think 17 and Super Saiyan 4 Goku should be pretty close. However, the problem is that Super Saiyan 4 Goku just got that equip and he's got a Zenkai, so I feel dirty putting 17 next to him. But at the same time, I think 17 is aged a little bit better with the mechanics that he has because he came out after they started introducing more broken mechanics. So it's just kind of a weird situation to be in. Super 17 Green, the Zenkai, kind of also a little high as a misnomer. You can make an argument for the newer Trunks over him depending on what you're trying to do, but I did move the new Trunks into B+ instead of just having the glut of B. I tried to really make B and C kind of spread out a little bit. That was kind of the point here. But I think Super 17, well, I guess Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta is the next green if you don't have Gogeta, right? But again, it's another one of those situations where it's like, do you want to have a mixed attacking team, or do you want to lean one way? Because if you're leaning melee based, you're grabbing the tag, but if you're not leaning that way, you're grabbing either the new Trunks or the new Super 17. Actually, arguably right now, I think right now, let me just flip these. I think right now it's Trunks. I think right now it's Trunks because he's on boost. And I think Trunks may have some more stuff in his kit that's better, like he's a support character too. I don't know that you want to run both, like well, he's not really a support, he's a ranged character that has support. I don't know if you want to run one of those characters with Bulla. Like, I don't know if you want to run Trunks and Bulla. I think Super 17 may get more value out of being alongside Bulla, because Super 17 still also has mechanics that are super crazy to play around, the old Super 17. So I think for now I'll flip those, but I think it's pretty close just naturally. B tier is apparently Super 17 tier. So there's that. I like Blue Pan there a lot. I think she's better than all of the blues below her. I think she's pretty comparable to the blues above her. I think you could actually flip Blue Pan with Super Baby 2, to be honest, actually. I think that may be what I would do, but I'm not going to do it, but I think I would do that. This is what I mean for the last time with like comparing one character to the ones below it. I think that I would do that though. It just kind of depends on what you're trying to accomplish. They're both characters that have support in their kits. Pan's more of an offensively inclined character. And I actually, you know what? I should put Pan in A simply for the Para dance. She does that, right? That's our green. Red is just flooded in B apparently, and C, B and C plus, because the only good reds in the game are the ones at the top, and they're all brand new characters or new buff characters. So that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, links are in the description for my tier maker, this page here, and also the Twitter. Post your follow me. You have to follow me if you're not, because I won't see the notification. Follow me on Twitter and post your tier list over there.